Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday night comic book stream here at Fantasy Books and Games. I'm Aaron. This is Sam.
Hey,
And yeah, we're going to just talk about some comics that are coming out tomorrow. Uh, I know, like, we've been saying the last couple of weeks have been kind of like light weeks
yes.
for at least for a lot of people. I know this week, I don't know how big it is going to be for everybody, but there was like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 of my regular pull books all come out this week, so it feels like it's kind of a big week for me.
Yeah.
But we'll probably try not to spend too much time talking about all of the normal stuff. But there's a couple of new things
Yeah.
coming out that's worth taking a peek at. But you know what we like to
I know
start with.
exactly what you're going to start with.
We like to start with facsimiles, and tomorrow I actually, what year is it? 2025.
Yep.
Okay, did you say 2022?
No.
You
I stumbled on the year.
You're about 3 years off, buddy. I guess it is. I'll have to double check, but I'm assuming it's the 20th anniversary. I was trying to figure out why they're doing
Of Civil War?
of Civil
Oh
War.
my god.
Marvel
no.
Comics Civil War, I think, is 20 years old,
It
which is
can't be
why
that old.
they're doing a facsimile reprint of #1,
Oh my
which, this was a watershed book.
Mhm.
It obviously they did a whole movie, not
Kind of.
totally based off it,
Right.
but they co-opted the general idea and the name, of course, for a Captain America
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, this was the second big event at Marvel. The let's see, yeah, 2005. So this was I bought this one off the stands when it came out.
Wow.
I think I still have my original copy. Here, like, full confession, Civil War. This was right around the era I started falling out of love with Marvel Comics.
Okay.
The second time,
Was it because of Civil War?
I only bought the first 3 issues of Civil War, and then I was like, you know what? I don't need to follow this. I'm done. It's written by Mark Miller,
Yep.
who's
Your favorite screenwriter.
favorite screenwriter. He's written some comics that I really like,
Yeah.
and at the time, this was probably the first thing where I was like, I don't know if I like him anymore. It's just so, to me, by the numbers, like a Mark Miller story, and it also has that problem where, I mean, I guess it's turning into a review of a 20-year-old Marvel event series, but it has that problem where the look at that.
Whoa.
Look at the advertisement for Brandon Routh's Superman in there.
Dang.
But I was gonna say the high concept for the story kind of takes precedent over the characterization, and so it's sort of like, well, all this stuff has to happen, because if it doesn't, you wouldn't have the story and you wouldn't have the characters fighting. Right. And I guess that was kind of my thing, where I was just like, uh, you know, like Tony Stark immediately becomes a government lackey, and
which is kind of a strange twist for him. Like,
yeah,
like,
he was always a very, like, an industrialist. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying he wouldn't be in bed with the government in some way, but it was, I don't know, I felt like it was out of character for him to just be like, yeah, there should be laws, and I'm going to be in charge of that. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't totally like it. Captain America, of course, is the freedom fighter. But anyway, here it is. This is Mark Miller and Steve McNiven. I think the most fascinating thing about this, though, is this is Steve McNiven from 20 years ago.
Okay.
And this is how I always remembered his art. Like, it's highly detailed, but it has this very specific style of coloring that Marvel was doing at the time.
Yeah.
And I think this is why, you might recall, in previous streams that we've done, we talked about the series Daredevil: Cold Day in Hell.
Yes.
And this came out these last 3 months with art by Steve McNiven, and I was so shocked at how much better his art is in Daredevil: Cold Day in Hell.
Well, like,
and just to give like a little side by side of just like just the striking difference in like, not just the coloring. Like, obviously there's a difference, like, it's different type of coloring, but like, just look at like his line work. Like, it's
way crisper.
And it's like the lines look thinner to me, and he's just, I really like this Daredevil: Cold Day in Hell, and to me it's just so much more interesting looking than than Civil War, which I do think that this era, Civil War, this is the era that kind of ushered in the admittedly, I think Steve McNiven and I should say the colorist's name because I don't know how much of it was the colorist was responsible for this or just it was an editorial edict. Um, Maury Hollowell is the colorist on this. But this era, I think, ushered in that specific type of airbrush looking style of like digital painting coloring that became the standard in comic books. And before this, you still had like a mix of like you would have a lot of coloring like that, but you would have comics that looked like it just had more traditional four color kind of flat colors.
Right.
And yeah, so at the time, this was the most modern looking thing in the world. And it's kind of interesting how I do think it pretty much looks like any other comic today, like that Marvel publishes, with the exception that Steve McNiven is a much better artist than the average than the average person working at Marvel. But you know, that's just my opinion. But yeah, it's this is I mean this is it. This is the story where all the Marvel heroes fight each other.
Yeah.
Which you know, it's not even the first event book that did that. That goes to Secret Wars. 20 years prior to this was all the Marvel heroes fighting each other. But this one at least had character-driven reasons for it. Even though I guess that's why I say it like fell apart for me because the whole premise, like in Secret Wars, I know we talked about this last year because Marvel was reprinting it. The premise is a magical god person named Beyonder just shows up and just magically plucks everybody to his planet called Battle World and is like, fight for my amusement. And that's the story. This one, at least, they try to provide motivations. Like an event happens, characters have to make choices, and they have to choose sides. So it's a much more mature story than than Secret Wars, that's for sure. But it is kind of interesting looking now, 20 years after Civil War, how it's kind of the same thing. Just one is like the Secret Wars was for kids. This one's for like teenagers,
Right.
you know, adults, and so it's I don't know. I
A little more nuanced.
a little more nuanced, but still kind of. We just have to come up with a reason for the characters to fight. Really, that's what it's about. But anyway, I found that really interesting, especially comparing the like 20-year-old Steve McNiven's comic work with present day Steve McNiven's comic work. It's pretty neat that both of these books are on the stand and you can just kind of look at them next to each other like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. Also coming out tomorrow. This is not exactly a facsimile, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. It's a reprint, which may as well be a facsimile, but it's a foil cover of Godzilla in Hell, and it looked like that. You can't even barely see it on camera. But this is a classic issue of Godzilla by one of my favorite comic artists, James Stokoe, and this has a little protective cover on it that's to protect the foil. But it's a single issue, and it's exactly what you think it is. It's Godzilla in Hell.
I remember this. When
Yeah,
it hit
yeah.
The shelves. Yeah.
And it's a cool issue. Like, look at this. This is so beautiful looking. I really, really like this comic. Stokoe's art is just so unique and full, I guess is the way I would put it. Like his pages are so full, but like stylized, and he's just got neat design. And it's a wordless comic with the exception of the words that appear in the art. There's no like dialogue or anything. And yeah, it's just like a Godzilla fighting a Godzilla demon, and it's like, you know, a little bit of a horror thing going on with the Godzilla monster. But yeah, very very cool comic. IDW has just been putting out so much Godzilla stuff lately for the I guess, is it the 70th anniversary of Godzilla?
You got
I think it is. That's why they've just been putting out tons and tons and tons of Godzilla stuff. So yeah, check that out. Definitely for sure. One of my favorite Godzilla comics. He did James Stokoe did another one, the Half Century War, which that one was like a 4-issue series, and that one's really good too.
Nice.
Gosh, I don't know. There's like several. I guess we'll just like briefly mention. I talk about these books every month that they come out, but Batman and Robin Year One. This is issue number 10. We're almost done with the series. Probably my favorite Batman book coming out right now. I recommend it every time it comes out. I really like it. I just want to show off some of the beautiful Chris Samney art. Look, I mean, it's just so cool, so stylized, and it perfectly fits that vibe of like early Batman. You
Yes,
know,
it does.
like he's got a retro style, but it doesn't look it doesn't look dated.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that's like his it's like really fresh looking while still looking classic, and that's a hard thing to do sometimes. New Gods #9 comes out. You've been reading this
I've
one,
been
right?
reading
Did
that.
you read the new issue
I
yet?
did not.
I haven't read the new issue either, but I still recommend it because I have been enjoying this. This is by Ram V and Evan Cagle, and each issue has like a little, usually has an introduction story by a different artist. I did not see who this one was, but I recognized that. Oh, it's Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Yeah. But anyway, yep. So this is a cool comic. I don't have. Like I said, I haven't read this issue, so I can't say much about it. But I have been enjoying the series, and I do recommend checking it out. Also, another book that I have been regularly talking about, The Seasons by Matt Fraction and Paul Azaceta. One of my favorite looking books right now. Also has just like a, I guess it's not really like a retro style. I don't know what you would call Paul Azaceta's style, but to me it just feels like it's a comic book, you know. And I like the colors in this a lot too. It's like a weird, colorful horror comic because the antagonists are like interdimensional circus performers. So there's like, it's not just clowns. Like it's one thing if it was just clowns, but it's like a circus. So there's all kinds of like whimsical characters. Just cool, beautiful looking comic, and I like the main character. You know, a plucky young girl who has a pet talking fish. Really, really good. I highly recommend it. Nice. All right, Sam. What's something that I haven't, a lot of times I try to read some of these books so I can talk about them in more depth, but I didn't really get a chance to read too much this week. So I think you got a chance to read something, did you?
I got a chance to read a little bit of everything.
Oh, awesome.
I read 3 things this week. The first one is Marvel All-in-One, Thing versus the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, I saw that one. That one looks interesting.
This was interesting. Yeah, it's so it feels like a giant sized book.
Yeah, it's a little heftier than a bigger book. I think I saw it was like 50 pages, which is a little over double size comic book, you know.
Literally all the pages are full page art or like splash
double page spreads. Yeah. Marvel All-on-One. Yeah, this is fun because like I like the Thing. He's a cool character. And that's one of Marvel's classic series was the Marvel 2-in-1, which was a Thing team up series, and so there's kind of a play on that. Marvel All-on-One, which is Thing versus the Marvel. This is kind of a big logo. Marvel All-on-One, Thing versus Marvel. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah,
but it's a cool cover. I like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
So what'd you think of this?
That was pretty neat. Thing goes up against robot versions of all the Marvel superheroes. Robots have just taken over literally every Marvel superhero that you can think of.
That explains why he fights all the heroes.
Yes. So, and there's a reason for that, but I won't spoil that.
Sure.
Like the action and like the full page art was really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to read every book like that.
Right. Yeah. It's an interesting concept. I was telling you earlier, I can't remember exactly which artist. I think it was John Byrne.
Yeah.
I'm rereading. There's a really good book I recommend called The Marvel Universe: The Untold Story, I think, or maybe it's Marvel Comics: The Untold Story by Sean Howe.
Okay.
And it's basically just an oral history of Marvel Comics from the creation of Timely in the 1940s all the way up to the age of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wow.
And so it spans like almost a century.
Yeah.
Basically Stan Lee's whole life. And that book specifically mentions at some point in the 80s, I think it was John Byrne pitched that idea. Sorry, there's a Kirby plushie having fun behind us. I think it was John Byrne wanted to do an issue of a comic that was this, just all like a 22-page splash page comic. And the editors were like, no way. The kids won't get their money's worth spending 60 cents on a comic that only has 22 full pages instead of that's only 22 panels instead of 100 or whatever is normally, and so they were like, no way. But here we are 40 years later, and it's happening. It's really happening. It's all splash pages, and this is probably the right context, like the right type of story for that, because the Thing is such a larger than life action character, and so you can just do these giant action full page splashes, and so that's really cool. You said you liked it though.
Yeah, it was good.
Good. Yeah. All right. I didn't get a chance to read it. I flipped through it and I saw that it was all full pages, and I was like, I could probably read this pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was a quick read.
A quick read.
Yeah, it was a quick read.
Well, cool. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. Also coming out tomorrow, another one that I don't know if I'm actually going to read this, but I'm going to at least highlight that it is coming out for people that might be interested. Post Malone's Big Rig #2. We talked about #1 when it came out. Did you ever read this, Sam?
I didn't read it. I kind of got the basic premise of it.
Yeah, it's the Dark Ages. Yeah. Demon hordes plague Europe as hell invades Earth, and then a semi-truck shows up.
Yep. Secret weapon.
It's very. I've said this before. I think I said this the last time. It's very Army of Darkness, where it takes place in the past, but there's magical future anachronistic technology. In this case, a semi-truck that the priest uses to just drive over demons. It makes no sense. Oh yeah, there's a machine gun on it too, I guess. I don't know. Like, it's good looking art. I feel like I do know this artist, and
who is that?
It is
Nathan Godin?
Nathan Gooden. I can't read this font.
Yeah, the O's and the D's look too similar.
Yeah, but it's a good looking book. I'll give it that. But I also feel like maybe it overstates its premise, or it overstays its the welcome. I don't know. How much can you really do with the story of a semi-truck running over demons in the Dark Ages?
How many issues is it supposed to be?
You know what? I don't know. The fact that it's even 2 issues surprises me. And they're double-sized issues. This is like, they're hefty. But yeah, Post Malone's Big Rig, it's pretty wild. It was definitely, they did the Free Comic Book Day version of it earlier in the year, and that was a popular one because, how are you going to say no to Post Malone and a semi-truck?
I barely know him. So
right. I don't know nothing about him either. Also coming out tomorrow, Ghost Pepper. I talked about issue 1 when it came out.
Yeah.
This is a cool... Did you read this one?
I read the first
You read the first issue? Yeah. And so, issue 2 coming out. This is by artist Ludo Lulabi. And just like, I don't know, I just like this one. It has a cool video game kind of feel to it. Like, the art is definitely inspired by that like 90s era video game art, I would say, as is a lot of the design. Just this looks like something that would be in a cool PlayStation game.
Definitely the world has the aesthetic of like an early Final Fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to read this issue yet, but I liked issue 1 a lot. It was pretty cool. So yeah, looking forward to this one. Definitely check it out if you haven't read it yet. I don't know how many issues this one is supposed to be, but Ghost Pepper, cool comic. Let's see. Also coming out tomorrow, this is one that I talk about all the time, G.I. Joe. You guys know me. I'm a G.I. Joe fan. I did actually read through this issue. I guess it's been a few months, so we can kind of spoil maybe something in this. I think what I like is that they're finally getting into the crossover nature of the shared Energon universe. Okay. And so like this Transformers character Hound has kind of become a regular character in the G.I. Joe book, this G.I. Joe ongoing series.
Yeah.
And because he's been separated from the Transformers, so he's not appeared in the Transformers book. He just showed up in G.I. Joe, where he's like one of the characters is secretly hiding him on base because he transforms into an army jeep. And so, it's just like he's Clutch. He's like their mechanic. He works in the garage. So it's just his Jeep, and it's actually a Transformer. And so that was kind of one of the big like reveals earlier in the year. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the the Energon universe as a whole. I don't really follow Void Rivals, but Transformers and GI Joe have been great, and looking forward to more of it. I got a whole stack. Like I said, it is a lot of stuff that's in my pull. Mothra, Queen of the Monsters. This is issue number 5 by Sophie Campbell and Matt Frank. You know what? I really don't have anything to say about this comic other than it's Mothra fighting other kaiju, and it looks cool.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, this issue is like all action, because I think I talked about the previous issue. There was like a montage scene of they had to train Mothra for the big fight. This issue is the big fight, and it's just 22 pages of just beautiful monster destroying action by the, I guess you could say, maybe the legendary Matt Frank. He's been drawing a lot of Godzilla and monster related comics for a long time. So yeah, cool stuff. And also written by Sophie Campbell, whose work I've been really enjoying lately. Yeah. She writes the Supergirl series right now. She writes and draws the Supergirl series. So yeah, she's definitely kicking out some cool comics. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I forgot to talk about some of the trade paperbacks that are coming out tomorrow.
Okay.
It's ironically they're all Superman related. I didn't mean to just grab Superman stuff, but Absolute Superman Volume 1 comes out tomorrow. This is the hardcover. I don't think I really need to flip through it. We've talked about Absolute Superman every month that it comes out. But I know DC's been, people have been really waiting for these collected editions. So Superman is tomorrow. And then also tomorrow, DC is putting out this slipcase box set, which is pretty cool. It's like the movie tie-in version. They did something similar to this for Batman, where it's you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trade paperbacks in here, and it is $85.
That is a good value.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can kind of see here. This is like the books that's in it, but it has pretty much the greatest hits of Superman. A lot of these are Superman books that I've been recommending to people for the last 2 months whenever they come in. And I think, I don't remember if I talked about this last time. I'm actually curious to hear if you've noticed this as well at the Belleville store where you work as well.
Yeah.
But ever since the Superman movie came out, I have noticed a tremendous increase of people coming in asking for Superman books. Yes. It's unprecedented. I've never seen a movie have this big of an effect of people really going out of their way to seek out more comics related to the movie. More so than any more Marvel movie.
Yeah.
At least in recent memory. And I'm sure in the past there's been moments, but it's been a lot this summer for Superman.
There definitely has been a push for Superman books because of the movie. Mm-hmm. I'd argue probably more than most Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I'd have to say the most.
I gotcha.
Yeah, there's been a lot of superhero movies in the time that we've worked here.
That's true. That's true. And it's difficult to gauge what kind of effect Batman movies have on Batman because Batman is just always so popular. There's always people coming in asking about Batman. But one of the things that I really appreciate about that new Superman movie, and James Gunn, I guess in general and by extension, is that I feel like he has gone out of his way to really promote the comics. He talks about All-Star Superman all the time, and that is included in this box set. This has All-Star Superman, Kingdom Come, for Superman for All Seasons, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, Superman, I can't read that one, and then Superman Supercorp, Superman Up in the Sky. That's the Tom King one that's the only one in here I don't personally recommend, but that's just me being a jerk. But Supercorp is the current Superman run, which I've talked about regularly on this stream. This is the first 6-issue trade paperback. And Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, classic Alan Moore Superman story. It's the send-off to the pre-crisis Superman era. I don't know if you've ever read that one.
I've never read
that.
I've read, he did a short comic. What was the name? What Do You Get for the Man Who Has Everything?
Yes. Yeah, that was also Alan Moore. Alan Moore basically wrote 3 issues of Superman in his time at DC. And it was the annual that had What Do You Get for the Man Who Has Everything? And then he did Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. And those 2 issues that he did that comprise Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow were the final 2 issues before the Crisis on Infinite Earths reboot. So they were literally the last issues of that Superman run, as it were, that started with Action Comics #1. And they're kind of the 2 of the best Superman comics ever made. Like, I really like it.
I like the one I read.
Yeah,
I like,
it's Alan Moore is a good writer, but the Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow also works really well because it is illustrated by Curt Swan, who basically was the house style for Superman for like 30 years throughout like the 60s and 70s and then into the 80s for sure. So yeah, it's pretty beautiful send off to Superman.
Nice.
But anyway, so if you just want to jump headfirst into a lot of great Superman stories, this slipcase box set is ready and waiting for you. Oh
shoot, I might get one of those. Except I have like 2 of the books. So.
I know that's I already have all those books,
right.
For the most part. Actually, you know what? With the exception of, let me look here. With the exception of the Tom King book and Superman Up in the Sky, so those 2. So of the four trade paperbacks in this, I have all the issues in my collection. Yeah, so that's I got a lot of Superman comics. Yeah, okay. What's something else that you read, Sam? You want to talk about?
I read the Witch Hazel Variety Hour.
Ooh, this one looked really good.
There we go.
There we go. This is from Silver Sprocket.
Yes.
We talk about the what's the Everything Sucks comic. I like that one a lot. I feel like they've done a Witch Hazel comic before. I don't remember if I read it or talked about it, but I really like the cover of this one. It looks really good, and like I said, I didn't read this issue, but I was drawn to it because right away on the cover you see there is an adorable little hippo cartoon character who is clearly meant to be like Mudang, the famous meme baby pygmy hippopotamus in like the China zoo in Taiwan. I think it's Taiwan, Taiwanese zoo. But anyway, you read this issue?
I did.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
You loved it. Okay.
It has the Silver Sprocket feel to it. So if you're familiar with like Everything Sucks, like it definitely reads like one of those books.
Okay.
There are a total of like 3 different short stories in there. I think 2 short comics, and then 1 that's a little longer near the back. It's really good. It was a nice, lighthearted read with a lot of humor. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it looks really good. Like just flipping through it, just seeing I'm just falling in love with these drawings of the hippo. It's just too perfect.
She rides the hippo.
She rides the hippo.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Fashions a lance out of a tack and a shield out of a Canadian penny.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna read this. For sure. Yeah, that looks great. So this one gets a highly recommended from Sam.
Yes.
This is Witch Hazel Variety Hour. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Kind of related. That last book was about witches, right?
Yeah.
So that's like witches are scary, right?
They're spooky.
Even though that comic itself is not spooky.
Probably not.
But there is a book coming out tomorrow that's a little more firmly planted in the horror genre, but it did get my attention. That is Event Horizon Dark Descent. Have you ever seen the movie Event Horizon, Sam?
I have not.
Oh my goodness.
Is that another one of those that you gotta watch it?
To some people, yes. It's directed. I don't know if it's written, but it's directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who is famously not a great director.
Okay.
He directed the first Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, that guy.
And he directed a lot of other cheesy, kind of trashy movies. That's not my opinion. That's like his reputation. But Event Horizon is definitely his best film. And it's basically just, it's him attempting to do like a Ridley Scott alien type movie.
Okay.
Except instead of aliens, it's demons on a spaceship.
Okay.
And I actually really love the premise. Let's take a look at the book a little bit. This book is a prequel to the movie Event Horizon. So the original movie, yeah, there's the ship right there. it's a pretty simple premise. It takes place in the future, and some scientists build a special like warp drive engine for the spaceship, and it disappears like when they turn it on, and the ship appears magically 20 years later, like just out in deep space. And so they send Sam Neill, the actor famous for being in Jurassic Park,
Okay.
Alan Grant. He's the main character in Event Horizon, and so they sent him and a crew to go investigate. Like, oh, like the nobody's responding every time we try to contact them. It's just dead. You know, the ship appears to be a ghost ship, and so basically they go to the ship and it's haunted, and like it's just a horror movie on a spaceship. It's just
Right.
instead of a haunted house, it's a haunted spaceship.
Okay.
And but like the premise is fun because it's like the whatever star drive that they invented to like warp space literally just transported it to hell, and then when it came back it had like demons and on it and stuff. And
What?
so
Just they just
the,
hitched a ride? Or?
they like were bonded to it in some
Oh,
way,
okay.
you know, like a haunted house type of a thing.
Okay.
And so this is a prequel, so it's about the first crew that go to hell essentially.
Oh.
And so and then, you know, spoiler alert, I guess, for the movie and perhaps for this comic, but the first crew doesn't make it back. That's how the movie opens. The movie opens with, we sent this ship off into space and everybody died. So this is a prequel to find out exactly what happened to them, and, you know, how they died, and, you know, what kind of torments they went through in space hell, wherever they were. Like, yes.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's demon on a spaceship kind of a thing. The main I don't want to say too much about this story. It's a pretty straightforward setup. The main character is the guy that invents the new star drive, whatever I don't remember what they're calling it, and he's like having visions of the future, and he can like tell that some supernatural force is like feeding him the information he needs to build this thing. So it's definitely building on the mythos, because it was a very simple story. The movie,
Right.
the Event Horizon
Yeah.
movie, it was just an excuse to have people getting murdered in space by ghosts. You know, that's really all it was.
Yeah.
So this is this comic is adding a little to it. It's written by Christian Ward, who he wrote and drew the Batman City of Madness comic from last year.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think he wrote the Two-Face series also.
Yeah.
So he's you know, he's a pretty prolific creator, and he's been doing stuff. So, and he definitely has a horror angle to some of the stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
So very cool to see him doing this. And the art, I should have said, was by I lost it. There we go. Tristan Jones, because I do like it is like appropriately moody art, you know.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. So yeah, cool looking comic. It's one of my. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure movie. Like, I don't think it's particularly good,
but you like it.
But I like it.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, it played on cable a lot, so I'm sure a lot of people have, you know, just remember watching it. And it has very memorable scenes. Like, for, I guess as a horror movie, it succeeds in that, where you just like get these like scary images burned in your brain, you know. So it succeeds at that. So yeah, definitely check out Event Horizon Dark Descent. Well, I'll ask our friend Abby if she's going to read it and see what she thinks. Christian Ward's like her favorite creator.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, she loved City of Madness. It's like her favorite comic book ever. And so she would not stop trying to get me to read Two-Face. And
the new Two-Face?
The new Two-Face. I did not read it. Did you read it?
I did.
Did you like it?
I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
She said it was great, and
it was good.
It was, yeah. I'm sure it's good. I just like, it was one of those things where I'm like, you know, I just don't have the bandwidth to read too many Batman books at the same time. And I know it's Two-Face, it's not Batman, but at the same time, I'm just like, maybe I'll read it someday, like in a trade paperback. But
it's a good trade read.
Okay,
sure.
cool. Yeah. All right. I got a couple of books here to talk about. Do you still have something that you?
I got. What did I read? Rick Remender's Escape #1.
Oh, good. I wanted to take a look at that, and I didn't have a chance. Because this is Rick Remender, Daniel Acuna. He isn't he the one that did the Iron Fist series with Matt Fraction? And,
wow,
and maybe No, this might be somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm just mixing up my names. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh no, it was good. It's a good like reimagining of World War II, where
Okay.
you have animals are animal human hybrids instead of
Yeah.
people.
Now,
And
is this a? You say that is this a talking animals comic, or are they actually human animal hybrids in the story, like science fiction Island of Dr. Moreau style?
I think it's talking animals.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I
So it's
don't
like
think they really call attention to like the
so it's like Black Sad, or what else? Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Like
something like
yeah,
that.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have an affinity for those types of comics.
Do you?
I do. Did we not?
No,
We never
you've never
talked about
talked
this.
about this.
It's well, sometimes it's embarrassing because people can infer certain things
Oh,
when you
especially with
say
the current climate
when,
of talking
when you
animals.
say I like talking animal comics, and it just like a lot of people have their own interpretations of what that means.
We won't go
But
there.
it's okay. But a lot of like old people are just like, oh, you mean like Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse? I'm like, not really.
Yeah.
Like they're okay, but I don't like Mickey Mouse comics that much.
Right.
But there is like a certain type of comic. I like Usagi Yojimbo,
Right.
one of my favorite comics of all time.
Yeah.
And so there's like that. I just really like artists that can use animal characters in an interesting way, like Black Sad. I just mentioned in reference to this, and Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. I really like. I don't know. It just makes sense to me in comic art that you would try to make something visually unique and distinct rather than just drawing realistically rendered people. That's just boring to me.
That's a good point.
So I just appreciate when like artists can do something fun with animal character designs. Yeah, this looks really good.
Yeah, the art was great. Story was pretty simple. They're on a bomber.
Mm-hmm.
They're about to bomb. I believe they go into the nation's name. I can't remember.
Okay.
But it's like I believe they're dropping bombs over what's supposed to be Japan.
Like the analog for Japan.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah, it looks really
plane
cool.
Gets hit.
Yeah. You don't have to spoil what happens in it, but yeah, it looks really really good. I'm definitely gonna check this one out. It's just Escape from Rick Remender and Daniel Acuna. Also coming out tomorrow, I got two of my regular books and then one new issue that's coming out tomorrow. Invincible Universe Battle Beast #4. I'm just loving this comic so much. It is just so cool to see Ryan Ottley back doing weird, cool comics. I don't blame him for wanting to draw Spider-Man and the Hulk for a while, but I mean, this is just so much more his thing. I got to be careful which pages I flip to because it's bizarre. But yeah, this creepy alien witch lady, like, oh, what a cool comic. I think what I've said before, like if you were an old school Invincible reader, reading this feels like reading Invincible back in the day. But I don't think you have to have an appreciation for Invincible to, or even an understanding of Invincible to appreciate it. Like you can just pick this up and it's just a weird, cool sci-fi hyper-violence comic.
Yep.
Have you been following
it?
Did you read this issue?
I did not read.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But you are reading Battle Beast.
I'm 2 behind, but I do like it. Again, I don't have that Invincible tether to it.
Yeah.
But I still liked it.
Yeah.
Without having read that.
Well, like I said, the nice thing about it is that other than the very first page of the first issue, there's really nothing related to Invincible at all. And that first issue is just establishing the time, like in which the story takes place. Okay, I got 2 more comics to talk about real quick. Are they still goofing off over there?
Yeah.
Oh, brother. This is
bored.
I'll give her something to do when we get off this stream. Issue 4 of Los Monstruos comes out tomorrow. I've talked about this series every month that it comes out. I like this comic a lot. It's very straightforward. It's just Universal monsters as a detective story. It's just a private eye. He's a werewolf. There's Frankensteins. There's Draculas. There's mer people. There's all kinds of just weird monsters, and yeah, really really cool. It's very I guess I want to avoid saying cliche, and instead I will say it's very firmly rooted in the private eye genre, where it just like hits all the beats of the things you expect, but with that fun twist of it being monster characters. This is issue 4. It's the final issue. It will, I'm sure, it will be collected in a cool trade paperback. So highly recommend. If you like crime, war, and monsters, it's the perfect story for you. All right, final issue. This is a new #1, but it's not the most new thing in the world. It is Venom, Black, White, and Blood. Marvel's been doing these anthology series, these Black, White, and Blood series. What's the what was the one? Was the Darth Vader one that they didn't use blood? They just called it Black, White, and Red because we wouldn't want to imply that a Sith Lord who murders children, has blood on his hands.
Yeah, not literally.
Not literally, yeah. So, so Venom, Black, White, and Blood. These anthology series are kind of hit and miss for me because it just kind of depends on what creators are working on them.
Specifically the Black, White, and Red format.
Yes, yeah. I like the format. I like the idea because Marvel has all these like cool, violent characters, and anti-heroes, I guess is a better way to say. Like they got cool anti-heroes. I mean, I love the Punisher. I love Venom. There was a time in my life when Venom was very important to me. Like just like as a kid, I loved Spider-Man, but I mean Venom was like Spider-Man, but he killed people.
Yeah,
he ate people. Yeah. And this is Venom, Black, White, and Blood. What I think drew me to this issue was that it has some stories by some of the classic Spider-Man creators. David Michelinie, who's the Venom co-creator. Excuse me. He co-created Venom with Todd McFarlane in Amazing Spider-Man 300. So, yeah, this story just reads like classic Venom. It's basically like the movie Predator, but with Venom.
Okay.
It's just like some people in the woods, and Venom is hunting them and killing them because they're not good people and they deserve to die.
Right.
There's also a short story by, let's go back to the title page just to see. There's a Ryan North story who is a contemporary writer who I think gets the job done, but he's never really been one of my favorites. Also, J.M. DeMatteis, he was Marvel's editor-in-chief in the late 80s, early 90s, and he wrote Spider-Man a whole lot. I like that Marvel brings in a lot of classic creators to do these stories. I like the way this one looks, too. This third story with DeMatteis, which is art by Dave Watcher, Fathers and Sons. It's got this like kind of washed out watercolors look.
Yeah.
And this story takes place in the kind of Maximum Carnage era. So that's the Fathers and Sons, that's Venom and Carnage.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, Carnage is the offspring of Venom.
Right.
Literally the symbiote like gave birth to another symbiote, and that was Carnage. And so cool. I'm an old guy, and so I appreciate that Marvel makes some stuff that kind of is meant to appeal to us. I thought it was all right. Okay, that's it. That's all we got for today. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Like our friend Dan says, there's comics out there for everybody. It's not just superheroes. Sometimes it is witches riding pygmy hippos and talking animals in World War II and Private Eye werewolf, all kinds of cool stuff. But yeah, come on down to Fantasy Books and Games and buy some comic books. You can talk to me and Sam and everybody else here. Anything you want to add?
No,
all right, we're done. See ya. Bye.